Hiya everyone, it's Christy again with another journal. I don't typically have this many journals to share with you, but I've been on a making spree, so I do have several. It's another one that is part of my stash decluttering. It's something I've made with scraps out of my stash. This is the Big Daddy. This is probably one of the biggest I've ever made, and it's very vintagey. Um, what would you say? Like dark academia, I think is the thing now. But anyway, it's really big. I've never made anything like this, and it's really cool though. I really like it. I'm gonna have a hard time keeping you in frame, but I am going to try. And in fact, I might just stand up with this one so I can actually see in the camera above me. Okay, so this is again Big Daddy. This is huge. The measurements are 8.5 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches. It's so big, y'all. Anyways, and then on this side, this is the closure. I had to go to the craft store to get these little closures, and I tried different ones. This one pretty well works. So it's got these two brass swing latch closures on it, and each side here has two signatures, so a total of 4 signatures. And it opens up. I'm going to show you. This is wild. Okay. I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but probably nobody else cares about it as much as I do, and that's okay. The cover, the entire book box thing, is made with leftover chipboard from different packaging that I've collected over the years. And this is another one of those Pendaflex folders. I love the old green color. It's just their typical stuff. It's not the fancy colored ones. And then these are brass brads that I got out of my grandfather's stash. And these suckers are like, I don't know, a centimeter across, maybe? A little over a centimeter, like maybe 1.25 or something. I don't know. What is that in inches? Half inch. So whatever that is in centimeters or millimeters. I don't know. We don't do the metric system here. Though I do find it easier to measure some things in centimeters. Okay, so I have basically just decorated this with, my usual vintage antiqued cello tape. This is me doing air quotes, by the way. And I've cut down this Pendaflex scraps. You can see that the main body of it is Pendaflex with the chipboard on top. This one, it's so hard to keep this in frame, guys. I'm sorry. This is embellishment. However, this is actually a pocket. Let me find that's a little pocket. Why does it need a little pocket there? No idea. This comes up and out so you can actually, write whatever you want on here. These grommets, not grommets, what are these things called? Rivets, are keeping this piece of chipboard attached to the cover, the soft cover. This tome needed the chipboard to lend it sturdiness so that it would stand up, because without it, it was not going to stand up. It's too big and bulky. So this is attached with the rivets. I'd never done rivets before, and honestly, I didn't have the proper tool for rivets. So they are distressed. And by distressed, I mean I beat them into submission. On the back cover, I did some more embellishments here. And then this is a pocket. Does it need a pocket on the back? Absolutely not. But I put one there anyway. So, and then this is just a piece of decorative cardstock. And again, I did the grommets here. These are the latches. They are screwed in. I trimmed the screws down from the inside, but I need to cut them down some more because they stick out too much. And then I also have glue, some super strong adhesive to try to hold these on here as well. Okay, and then of course, you know, I have this pocket here, and what is this stuff called? Some acetate here. And then I cut these holes into the Pendaflex. That is the dog. If you can hear that, that is Ginger trying to get in here. Like, she is not happy that I'm in here without her. I'm so sorry, Jen. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open this and get started. And there are 4 signatures. The total number of pages is 376. 376 pages in here. So it opens like so. And you can see the rivets from the inside. Oh, I forgot to tie something closed. And then this is blank. I haven't decided if I'm going to add anything here before I put it up for sale or not. I may not. So it'll be a surprise for everyone. And then on this one, I have this like library pocket type thing here. You can see I did some stitching, and then this black on the sides is actually bookbinding tape, and I use that to reinforce the signatures, the spines. So, all right, we're going to start on the left side. So this opens again, and if you look right here, you can see the little screws from the hardware. So yeah, I gotta cut those down a little bit. They stick up about 1/8 of an inch, but it's enough that it could be a problem. So, all right, on this side, I've actually done a little bit more embellishment in this book because this was so much fun to make, because it's different from a lot of what I typically make. I've been making a lot of things that are different from what I normally make lately, and it's been a lot of fun. So there you go. Variety is the spice of life, or something. Okay, so here I have made an envelope with a little Tim Holtz embellishment. There's a paper clip to keep it closed, and you've got this pocket here. Don't have anything in there. I may or may not add anything. I have not decided. And then, of course, you can tuck something back here as well. I have this. This is made out of hemp twine, so it will get softer with use. And then this actually, hold on a second. What have we done? I need scissors. Hold on. I accidentally glued this thread. There we go. And it would not open. Come on. I glued it into this screw. Oops. Okay, so this is going to be kind of tough to show you, but it opens up. So here's that flap. Oh my goodness. This is too cumbersome. Too cumbersome. So here it opens down like so. There's a pocket here, and a tuck spot here. And then here is kind of a writing tablet made out of scrap paper. And it's just plain, unembellished paper. And I'm not sure how many pages this is, but this is not included in the 376. So you can tuck things in here. I have the brad here for this little, I don't know what this closure is called. If somebody tell me what this closure is called. But anyway, so there's that. And then you can actually put something behind here as well. So that's fun. Okay. First signature, stamped number 1. Why? I don't know. Seemed like a good thing to do. This is a manila folder that I repurposed into some little pockets. They've been stamped and inked and have little embellishments on them. And you open up the first one. There's some more embellishments. Here's another tuck spot. Some more stamping. This is a policy envelope that you can put something in. And then there's also this little envelope and then just some embellishments with that tape. There's another pocket here. And it has just this distressed, I think this is coffee dyed index card. And you just fold that over. Okay, so this is packaging paper, probably tea or coffee dyed paper. This is from a set of encyclopedias. It was a different kind of encyclopedia though. So, growing up, we had the big set of Britannicas. But the Britannica also made like a 3-volume, like concise encyclopedia. And that's what most of my encyclopedia pages came from. And I really love using the old font, the pages from the old font. Anyway, here's a fold out. Pull you back into frame. This is tea dyed. Yeah, tea dyed graph paper. Here's some ledger paper I got at the office supply store that closed. This is manila paper they sell in the kids section. This is some kind of paper I ripped off of a tablet. Here's another piece of that British India book. And it's got the ghostwriting because the ink and the acid in the paper interacted over the years, and so it's got like this ghostwriting because the backside also has some ghostwriting. Can you see that? That's like a little ghostwriting. Anyway, so there's that. I've reinforced it because it's so old. I reinforced it with some washi tape. Here's another piece of that ledger paper. This came out of some kind of, I don't know, some kind of household expenses journal that they sold way back in the 20th century. Some kind of tablet paper here. This is a piece of tracing paper, I want to say. No, this is baking paper. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's either tracing paper or it's baking paper. Okay, so here's India and the Indian Mutiny. Complete history of Hindustan. Earliest times to present day. Present day was 1858, y'all. This thing is almost 200 years old. Holy cow. And I deconstructed it to put into some kind of Franken journal. I reinforced the pages with some washi tape here. Looks real nice. 1858. That's wild. Anyway, paper. This came out of an old journal, like a planner. Here's some more of that ledger paper. This is a printable, double-sided. Here's another piece of that Encyclopedia Britannica. I really did not do my due diligence with these pages to make sure that there's nothing triggering on these pages, but that's just not the kind of attention to detail I'm interested in. I'm more interested in things like rivets. This is tracing paper, so the other must be baking paper. Here's another ledger. It's actually a printable. This is dyed baking paper. This I had used in like a grungy Halloween journal, and this was left over. Okay, who knows what this is? Oh my gosh, if you know what this is, put it in the comments. This is great. I found this in my dad's stash. I mean, look at that. It looks amazing. I think this was a printable. No, this is scrapbook paper that's made to look like notebook paper, and it's either tea or coffee dyed, not sure. Here's another piece of waxed paper, really pretty. Let's see if you can yeah, it kind of gives that translucency. Real nice. And it's soft. And then it was hand bound. This was bound twice, actually, these signatures. So these papers were bound the first time with pearl cotton embroidery thread. They were bound into this file folder. And then this was bound. Let me see if I can find it. With this twine into here. And the reason it was bound twice is because it was so cumbersome. It was easier to bind it twice than it was to bind it one time into the entire thing. Does that matter to you? I don't know, but there you go. Now you know. Extra work. Okay, so there's that. There's the other side of this. There are, I believe, no embellishments in this particular journal in the pages because I put all of the effort into the book. Okay, so that is signature number 1. And then signature number 2 is on this side. Yeah, and it's also stamped over here. I also have this pocket here. Probably a Kazuya piece of Kazuya's fur right here, probably. And it's on the inside, so good luck getting that out. It's embellished with some machine stitching, as well as these little pieces of ephemera, Tim Holtz ephemera. I've got a piece of tape here just because, and a little bit of a stamp here, some more tape. And on this side, there's a little pocket, some tape embellishments. And the papers on this side are dyed. I get these dots from a when I dye the paper, I then take it and I place it onto a pizza pan and put it in the oven to help it dry faster. Well, I used to. I haven't had to dye anything and dry it in many years, so that's where the little dots come from, and I think that's probably one of my favorite things is those dots. Anyway, more of that book page. This I don't know, this came out of some store-bought journal of some kind. I don't know where it came from because I don't remember ever buying it. This is a printable. I like the color. It goes really well with this. This is a piece of brown, gray This is actually gray paper. Here's another printable. I put it next to this because it looks really nice together. Here's some splotchy tea dyed paper, possibly coffee dyed. I don't remember. Another piece of that brown paper. This is garden drafting paper, so you can plan out your garden and plot it out. And I had purchased that when I moved. I had to redesign my garden, and did I ever use it? Like one time. So now it's for paper crafting. This is a gift wrap that I purchased a few years ago. It was in a really thick tube, and I've been using it for a few years now. Brother Sister Design Studio. I like that it has the cutting grid on the back. This is some pre-printed paper that was supposed to look aged. I bought that when I first started doing the journaling, and I rarely ever use it because it doesn't even look aged. Like my papers look better than that, whatever. Live and learn, but I have to use it, so it's in here. This is some tea dyed, and also this is some green from a food coloring session that I did. I really like how that looks, and it kind of matches right here with another piece of that waxed paper. This is typewriting paper. This came out of a journal, like a store-bought paper pad, not a journal, a paper pad. But I really liked it, and I've used it in many projects. Here's the center of the second signature. This signature, I think, had, let's see, 92 pages here. And this signature is 92. And the first one was 104, which is actually the largest one. So that's that. I'm not going to go through all of these pages because it's just more of the same, right? Okay, so on this side, we have another, there's Ginger again. We have another one of these twisty things with brads, and it's just a little pocket, so you can put things and stuff in there. All right, and we're going to move on to this side. So you open this up, and the first thing I have here is a bunch of grommets. And I have this kind of closure it's actually to tie this closed. And I'll show you how to do it at the end because clearly I didn't tie it up this time. And then of course here's those screws again. These ones I have not cut down. So they're actually sticking up quite a bit, and they're very sharp. And again, those are those screws from here. But they will be cut by the time this goes up for sale. So not to worry. Okay. On signature, this is signature 3 and 4. We're going to start here. Again, this is the second one of these pockets. As you can see, I have 2. So here's the middle, and then these 2 pockets here. 2 signatures on this side, and 2 signatures. Sorry about that. 2 signatures on this side. Okay, so here is file folder pockets that I've created. These are actually not like, I wouldn't say these are pockets. These are tuck spots because they're open on the side. This one, however, nope, that one's also a tuck. Sorry. Embellished with stamps, some ink. I did some inking and some machine stitching, and then just little embellishments. On the inside, I have this little embellishment here. This is a tuck. Oh, actually, there you go. A little tag. with one of the, this is called an owl paper clip. Don't ask me why I know that, but you know, I'm up all night on Google sometimes. So this is a vellum envelope, and I just got this embellishment here. There's nothing on the inside of this one. I don't think I'm going to add anything at this point, but you could add something here if you wanted to. All right, this signature is 92 pages. This is some kind of vintagey looking graph paper. It's not actual vintage because it's actually scrapbook paper, and it's upside down. I just noticed. This is tea-dyed notebook paper. This is a map plate that I pulled out of one of my dad's old books from I don't know how long ago. This is tracing paper, dyed graph paper. This is embellished with some stitching. This is reproduction paper ephemera that you can purchase. And then some washi tape here. And again, with that paper. This is a printable. Here's some more of that garden paper. There's those dots from the pizza pan. And it's just copy paper. This is, I don't know if you remember, but when I was a kid, way back 1,000 years ago, you would buy these 3-inch blue binders for school in like elementary school, right? And inside of that binder would come the divider tabs, manila divider tabs, and a dictionary. This is from a dictionary. I found this in my dad's stuff. It was brand new, still in the cellophane, and I obviously kept it for crafting purposes. I haven't seen this in many, many years, but very cool. More dyed copy paper. This came from a Cambridge Notes journal that was almost empty, so I just ripped out the last couple of pages. This is stationery. This is I cut this with some scissors, and it came out of a pre-made journal that I got on clearance because that's how I buy my stuff. It's typically on clearance. Again, with British India, reinforced with some washi tape, and it flows nicely with this printable paper here, and I just really like this green. This is Amazon packing paper. This is ledger paper from that household ledger thing. This is ledger paper I got on clearance. This is baking paper. Makes a nice crinkly sound. This is some more of that book page. There's a plate there, and you can see the ghost writing. And there's the washi tape to help reinforce it. Not sure what that paper is. Manila paper, the center of the signature with the pearl cotton thread. And the back sides of all of those papers. So you just kind of flip through real quick, because I don't think there's really any embellishments in these papers. Some of them fold, but for the most part, it's just the same. Okay, last signature. This is again a printable baking paper. Oh wow, this is a big fold out piece of tea-dyed notebook paper. I think this came from a composition book. This is what is this called? Why am I always drawing blanks? This is scrapbooking paper, manila paper, packing paper. I love the crinkles. Do you guys like the crinkles? I love them. I like the sound of paper when it's crinkly. I have another book that's got crinkles. I'll have to show it to you. Okay. This page was actually reinforced with paper medical tape, which it's a really good thing to have in your stash. This is a printable. This is actual piano paper. This is vintage piano paper. So you would take this roll of piano paper and you would feed it into the piano that plays by itself. And I found it in a thrift store, maybe antique shop, possibly eBay. I don't remember. I've had it for a while. I lost it and then I found it again. So now I'm using it. And then here's this fold out of this paper here. More of that packing paper. Fold out. Here's the center signature. This is a different book, but I don't remember what. Pictorial View of America. And there's no date on it, so that page must be somewhere else. And here's some more of the back side of that piece. And it's glossy on one side, and then real thin, like tissue paper on the other side. Very cool. More tea-dyed, printable, tea-dyed, British India again, baking paper, packing paper. Oh my gosh, Ginger. And that's it. Okay, so the back cover of this signature book here, I just stitched these little pockets, and I just dropped these little bits of, this is some Tim Holtz ephemera type card, and I dropped it in here, and I glued one here, did some stamping here. On the back side, there's this pocket here that's embellished, and there's some black stitching here. Okay, so that's that. Now on the back cover, so this is the back cover. I have this envelope that folds out, and you can use it. You can put something in there. And I had a little stamp that said confidential, so I stamped confidential in some gray ink. Then just some stamps here. These numbers mean nothing. They're just for looks. Okay, so this is really neat too. This is a little tuck. This is ephemera to show you that it's a tuck. This is some washi tape to help hold this down and use as a hinge, along with some of that cello tape that I make. This is the closure for this section. It opens like so. And I am not going to show you what this says, but it is an envelope, and you can put stuff in there, okay? But that's a secret, so I'm gonna hide that down there. And then here is, these are reused and cut down and reused junk mail folders, which is the same as this. And then these are envelopes that are cut into pockets, and they're attached with washi tape and this cello tape. And same here. These are all pockets. So I don't know what you would put in here, but there is pockets, pockets, and more pockets. You know, we're obsessed with pockets. Okay, so this is supposed to come across here. And then all of this folds up, yes? Including this. And This closes, and then this folds over, and then this ties closed. And again, this is that hemp twine. So as it's used, it will get softer. This is another junk mail envelope that was cut down and stitched into place, and it is also a pocket. If I can get this in here. All right, and then I stamped it and I added a little thing here, and that is that. So there's a little bit of work left to do on this before it goes up for sale, but that is the sneak peek of this giant tome. I don't really know what else to call it. A folio, possibly, with multiple signatures in it. So you can store things in here. You can write in here. It's just really cool. And if you don't do anything with it, you can always just put it on your shelf and look at it. So that's it. Super cool. I really like it. I had a lot of fun making it. Just have a few finishing things to do, like I said, and then it'll be up for sale as well. Oh, and it will probably come with these and a few other things that didn't make it in here. This is an additional pocket that can be added. Let's see here. I don't know. I don't see me using it on anything else. And then this is just this didn't even make it into a pocket. So I will probably send these along with this book whenever it is sold. But that's it. So thanks for watching. Leave any questions, comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.